there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Thank you very much. I'm thrilled to be back with the hardworking patriots of the great state of Michigan. Nice state. And I also want to thank Allro Steel CEO Randy Glick. Just met Randy, and he's fantastic. The job the family's done, he's done. It's beautiful. And all of the talented workers here at Allro Steel, I hope you're all happy. Are you happy with the company? I think, yes, huh? I think. Great company. And congratulations on 76 years of manufacturing in Michigan. And you had your best years 4 years ago, but you're going to have even better years coming up, I can tell you that. You're going to have even better. I'm here today with a simple message for the American auto worker and for the American worker. Your long economic nightmare will very soon be over. It's going to be over. Going to turn it around. With your vote, we will defeat Comrade Kamala Harris, and we will bring back the American dream, bigger, better, stronger, and just better, bigger, better. We love the American dream. You don't hear about the American dream. When was the last time you heard about the American dream? They don't talk about it, although they copy everything else I do, so I guess that'll be nice. They'll be copying. They'll be saying, oh, the American dream. She doesn't know what the American dream is. Over the past 4 years, Kamala and crooked Joe Biden have presided over an economic reign of terror, committing one financial atrocity after another. As vice president, Kamala cast the deciding votes that caused the worst inflation in American history. You're all victims of it. We all are. Everybody is a victim of it. It's a nation buster, costing the typical family $28,000. Under her policies, household wealth has plummeted by $33,000 per family. The cost of the typical monthly mortgage has really tripled, and you can't get the money. So, you know, you will go from 2% to 10%, but you can't get the money at 10%. I guess they want more than that, but you just can't get the money. Credit card debt has ballooned by 40%, and they have the highest numbers in history right now. As of about 3 days ago, the highest number in history. Now Kamala says she wants to talk about the future, but she's been there for 3.5 years. She only wants to talk about the future because the past has been so, the job they've done. Let me tell you, he's the worst president in the history of our country, and she's the worst vice president, and she's the worst border czar in the history of the world. And she's the one who gave us every single disaster that our country is facing right now. Look at Afghanistan. She said, I was the last person in the room. What a horrible, horrible event that was. Kamala's made middle-class life unaffordable and unlivable, and I'm going to make America affordable again. In addition to making it great again, we're going to make it affordable again, and that's going to be starting on day one. Isn't it amazing? They go 3 years, and now they say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. The only good thing that she's flip-flopping, she's the greatest flip-flopper, things that she never even thought of. She probably goes back to her room and gets sick to her stomach when she says what she has to say, because she's a Marxist, she's a fascist, and she never believed. I mean, now she's saying, oh, we want to build a strong border. Where has she been for 3.5 years? As we took in 20 million people, many of them horrible criminals. My vision is for a middle class that is once again the envy of the entire world. It's going to happen. It's going to happen fast. Thank you. Workers like you and communities like this should be able to afford a nice house, a new car, and a growing family on a single income, all while enjoying the highest standard of living on earth, right? Thank you. Americans deserve safe streets, secure borders, great schools, healthy children, bustling factories, and a nation that is confident and a nation that is strong. That's the future that I intend to deliver, and I will deliver. And you had the best economy in the history of our country just a short while ago, and now you have what they call inflation, what that has done to this country. And frankly, They've done also worse, and you're going to end up in World War III with these people. I'll tell you what, we've never been so close to World War III. And, you know, with the power of weapons, I always say this isn't two army tanks running back and forth shooting at each other. The power of weapons today, very dangerous, very bad. We have people, do we have a president? He just got back from California. He was supposed to go to the White House. He never got there. He went to Delaware, and he's laying on a beach sleeping all day long. No, seriously, who the hell wants to sleep? And who wants to sleep in public? He's sleeping. Do you think President Xi of China is at a beach sleeping? Do you think Kim Jong-un is sleeping from North Korea with his nuclear weapons all over the place? They don't sleep so much. And we have a guy sleeping. And she's incompetent. She can't do an interview? It's been months. She can't. I just did an interview backstage. She was a very terrible person, but she was okay, actually. NBC fake news. It was NBC fake news. She asked me about all sorts of things. She asked me about abortion, and I handled it very nicely because, you know what, that's so overplayed. We have abortion. We have the whole thing brought back into the states where it belongs. That's where everybody wanted it for years and years and years, and they're voting on it. And I happen to believe in the exceptions Ronald Reagan did for life of the mother, rape, incest. The exceptions, probably 90% of the people do. But you know, I was just telling this reporter, the real problem and the real radicals on that issue are the Democrats, where you can have an abortion in the 9th month. And in 6 states, you're allowed to kill the baby after the baby is born. And you know, one of those states is Minnesota, where this tampon Tim comes from. Kill the baby after the baby's born. So that's no longer abortion. That's called execution, right? You're allowed to execute the baby after the baby. They're the radical. Kamala is promising communist-style price controls, free taxpayer-funded health care. Not that you're going to want. Nobody in this room is going to want it. For all illegal aliens, mass amnesty and citizenship for the millions and millions of migrants she lets in. She wants to give citizenship to people that have come here illegally. They didn't come through the system. You know, we want people to come into our country, but they have to come in legally, right? They have to come in legally. We're taking people that are murderers and drug dealers, and she wants to give them amnesty. I tell you, I don't get it. But all of this will destroy Medicare and will destroy your Social Security. She called for the abolition of ICE. You know, ICE, these are great patriots. These are tough people. I'm looking at some of these people right in the front row. They're tough as hell, but you don't want to be an ICE. You don't want to walk into MS-13 gangs and start slugging it out. These guys are seriously tough, and they love our country. You know, somebody's got to do it. I took them out by the thousands. Now they don't want to take them out anymore. They want to let ICE, the worst gang probably in the world, the meanest, the nastiest. They slice up people with knives. They'd rather use a knife than a gun because it's more painful. They killed 2 young students walking to school, 2 beautiful young 16-year-old girls walking to school. They sliced them up in Long Island. And they want to let these people stay, and we're not going to let them stay. We want to get them the hell out of our country. Kamala sponsored a bill to blow up the entire U.S. healthcare system and force every American into a socialist government-run program with rationing and deadly wait times. You go there and they say, yeah, that's good. We're going to be all set for you. Come back in 3 months. She endorsed a 70 to 80% tax rate increase. Look at this. She thinks the rate could be as much as 80%. She says, I'll think about that. Well, I won't think about it. Okay, I won't think about anywhere near it. In fact, we're going for a tax cut. You know, we gave you the biggest tax cut in history, and that gave us tremendous numbers of jobs. And we actually took in more income the following year after the cut because our country was booming like it had never boomed before. She supports abolishing cash bail so that when you murder somebody, oh, don't worry about it. You're free to go. No cash, no nothing. And then they go murder somebody else, and in some cases, much more than one person. And she endorsed the Marxist crusade to defund the police. Do you know that she was the leader of the defund the police? Does anybody in Michigan, I said, why don't I just walk up? I don't have to waste a lot of time. You're all fans, right? Is anybody here not going to vote for Trump? I'm just kidding. Raise your hand if you have the courage to do that. I think pretty good. No, but, I said, why do I have to make a speech? All I have to do is say, she was the leader of the defund the police movement. And then I say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and leave. Because when you hear that, no, she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist. He's a Marxist professor. It's very nice. This election is not a choice between Democrats and Republicans. It's a choice between communism and freedom. That's what it's about. And nobody really knows her. They were doing something, the man on the street, they said, you know Harris? Everyone's saying, who the hell is Harris? Nobody knows who Harris is. What's the vice president's name? They have no idea what the name is. Now, the name Kamala it's a little complex because there's about 19 different ways of pronouncing it, right? But Kamala is, at least it's a name you sort of remember. You can't use Harris because nobody knows who the hell Harris is. Who's Harris? We want somebody they know. And, one of the reasons they don't know, she did a lousy job. She was considered the worst vice president in history. I don't know who does this stuff, but she was considered the worst. Kamala will turn America into a third world country. Will happen. It's already getting there. I hate to tell you.